Man's Search for Meaning, An Introduction to Logotherapy by Viktor E. Frankl. The Choice of Survival. In the oppressive atmosphere of Auschwitz, where the air itself was a constant reminder of mortality, the selection process loomed as a grim reaper. Officers would arbitrarily decide who would live and who would face certain death, leaving prisoners in perpetual fear of being chosen. Amidst this, Viktor E. Frankl, a neurologist and psychiatrist, endured the same fate as his fellow inmates. His expertise in psychology offered him a unique perspective on the human condition under extreme duress. One fateful evening, Jacob confided in Thomas about the impending selection. "Thomas, I heard there's going to be another selection tomorrow," he whispered, the weight of their reality suffocating his words. Thomas, gripped by fear, replied, "Are you certain? We must act. I cannot be chosen." Jacob, with a nod, revealed his desperate plan. "I know someone who can alter the list. It's perilous, and it will cost us dearly." "What more could we lose?" Thomas uttered, his voice tinged with despair. The following day, under a leaden sky, the prisoners assembled. Jacob had bartered his most cherished possession, a gold locket containing a faded photograph of his family, a tangible memory of love and life before the horror, for a chance at survival. As they stood in line, Jacob and Thomas felt a surge of relief, tainted by the guilt of knowing others would suffer in their stead. Frankl watched, his heart heavy, as he witnessed the ethical struggle within men like Jacob and Thomas. It was here, in the abyss of suffering, that Frankl recognized the unyielding human spirit. He saw prisoners clinging to the vestiges of love, the sight of a concealed flower, or the strains of a familiar melody. These slivers of humanity became their lifeline. In a quiet exchange with Anna, a fellow prisoner, they spoke of dreams that now seemed like distant echoes. "Victor, is there any meaning to our suffering?" she asked, her voice a whisper against the silence. Frankl, with a gaze that held both agony and determination, responded, "Anna, even here meaning can be found. Our pain is not futile if we preserve our humanity, our capacity to love, and our hope for tomorrow." Anna's smile, though faint, was a testament to her enduring spirit. "I dream of painting again to capture the essence of life beyond these cruel barriers." "And you shall, Anna. It is our dreams that sustain us," Frankl reassured her. In the shadowed corners of Auschwitz, where survival was a daily battle, the foundations of logotherapy took root. Frankl's conviction that finding meaning in suffering could foster psychological resilience shone as a beacon of hope. It was a choice to survive, not merely in body but in spirit. For many, including Frankl and Anna, this choice was the light guiding them through the darkness. The Emergence of Logotherapy. In the shadowed corners of Auschwitz, amidst the relentless brutality, a hushed conversation began one evening as the prisoners gathered for warmth. "Victor," whispered one man, "how do you keep going?" Frankl replied softly, "Even here, we have a choice. We can give in to despair, or we can find a purpose that gives us the strength to continue." A young woman asked, "But what meaning can there be in this hell?" Frankl explained, "It's not about the suffering itself, but what we can learn from it, how we can use it to grow and to help others." The group fell silent, pondering his words. Frankl started informal discussions, sharing his belief that life never ceases to have meaning, even in the darkest of times. He encouraged his fellow prisoners to envision a future where they could apply the lessons learned in the camp. He spoke of holding on to the image of loved ones as a lifeline. With each passing day, the seeds of Frankl's ideas grew. His conviction that the human spirit could transcend the physical confines of the camp began to inspire hope in those around him. They started to see that their inner freedom could never be taken away, and that realization became a silent rebellion against their captors. Through whispered conversations and shared glances of understanding, the resilience of the human spirit became a testament to finding light in an abyss. Lifelines of Humanity. In the shadow of Auschwitz, Eliza and a small group of fellow prisoners gathered around a secret fire. They shared stories of their lives before the war, each narrative a lifeline to the world they once knew. Joseph, an older man, reminisced about the music he used to play, how the notes would fly free as birds. The group hummed a soft melody together, a lullaby from Eliza's childhood, their voices a collective whisper of defiance in the night. They were more than just numbers. They were bound by love, art, and the persistent beauty of nature. Eliza's smile, though tinged with sadness, was a testament to courage. Night after night, their gatherings grew, each person adding a piece of themselves. A joke, a poem, a cherished memory. These moments became their tapestry of resilience and hope. As the dawn approached, it returned them to reality. But in those hours by the fire, they found freedom to dream and to seek meaning amidst suffering. This enduring spirit, a beacon of light in the darkness, would inspire a movement of healing long after the war's end. The resilient spirit. In the heart of Auschwitz, Viktor Frankl and a young woman named Anna faced the daily atrocities of the camp. Amidst the despair, they found solace in love, art, and the beauty of nature. One evening, as the cold wind whispered through the barbed wires, Anna sat huddled in her thin blanket. "Sometimes I feel like I can hear music," she confessed. "It makes me feel less alone." Viktor reassured her, "Our inner freedom can never be taken away. We can still find beauty, create art, and remember love. These are the things that make us human." The next day, as they were marched to their tasks, Viktor spoke to the prisoners. "Remember why we're fighting. We're fighting for the day we can walk out of here, for the people we love, and for the life that awaits us." As time passed, the prisoners found comfort in their shared experiences. They believed their suffering had meaning, and that each act of solidarity, each moment of laughter, and each memory of love was a triumph over their captors. They held on to their humanity with a resilient spirit. The aftermath of liberation. The gate swung open, and a hush fell over the crowd. Anna's heart raced with a mix of fear and anticipation. "Can it be?" she murmured. Max, a fellow prisoner who had shared her dreams of escape, replied with a cautious optimism. "It's real, Anna. We're free." Max, a stoic man with a hidden well of kindness, had been a pillar of strength for Anna during their captivity. His background as a teacher had provided a beacon of hope in the darkness, and now he stood by her as they faced the unknown. Together they stepped over the threshold, leaving behind the shadows of confinement. The world greeted them with a burst of color and life so intense it was almost tangible. Anna reached out to a bright flower, its petals a stark contrast to the bleakness they had known. "I thought I'd feel joy," she confessed, her fingers brushing against the bloom. Max watched the horizon, his thoughts distant. "Joy may come," he said. "For now, let's just take it all in." As they ventured further, they met others, each person a mirror of their own bewilderment and hope. Conversations sparked not of the past, but of the future, and the steps they would take on the path of rebuilding. A conflict arose within Anna, a struggle between the comfort of the past and the uncertainty of the future. "What now?" she asked Max, her voice laced with a newfound determination. "We start anew," Max said. "We forge our path, not defined by what we've suffered, but by what we aspire to create." Their journey had just begun, and with each step, they embraced the challenges of a life reclaimed, their actions a silent testament to the enduring human spirit. They would not forget the past, but they would not be bound by it either. Their liberation was not just a physical release, but the start of a profound transformation. Beyond the camp, Dr. Viktor Frankl walked into his office as the city awoke. A woman, visibly distressed, entered. "Dr. Frankl, I'm lost without my husband," she said. "We will honor him by connecting children with nature," Frankl proposed, seeing her need for purpose. Her eyes brightened at the idea. Next, a diplomat shared his heavy burden. Frankl reminded him, "You began this path to make a difference." The diplomat left, reinvigorated. Frankl, in the quiet of the evening, knew his teachings would endure, guiding many towards finding their meaning. The universal quest for purpose continued. The legacy of logotherapy. In a cozy, warmly lit room, Dr. Anna Weiss sat across from her patient Emily, who was grappling with a sense of aimlessness. "Dr. Weiss," Emily began, "I just feel lost." Dr. Weiss nodded. "Emily, it's a feeling many encounter. Remember our discussions about logotherapy? It's particularly relevant for you now." Emily looked thoughtful. "But how do I find my purpose?" "Consider what brings you joy," Dr. Weiss suggested. "For instance, your art." Emily brightened at the mention. "I used to draw for hours. It made me feel closer to my dad." "That connection is key," Dr. Weiss said. "Art isn't just a hobby. It's a part of who you are and can be your way of reaching out to the world." Their conversation flowed, with Dr. Weiss helping Emily see how her passion for art could shape a meaningful path. By the session's end, Emily held a sketchbook, her expression one of newfound determination. "I want to use my art to support others," Emily declared. "That's a beautiful goal," Dr. Weiss responded, proud of Emily's progress. As Emily left, sketchbook in hand, Dr. Weiss felt the enduring impact of logotherapy, guiding another person towards a life filled with purpose. A message for the world. In the early days of peace, Viktor Frankl stood in a modest room bathed in the gentle morning light, addressing a diverse group gathered to learn about the practical applications of logotherapy. He spoke with conviction. "Consider a future where each individual, irrespective of their history, can ignite a sense of purpose within. This isn't fantasy. It's the core of our being." Introducing a new character, Dr. Eliza Richter, a former patient now turned psychologist, Viktor highlighted her unique contribution. Dr. Richter, having overcome her own tribulations, brings a novel perspective to our practice. Her work with children orphaned by the war exemplifies the transformative power of finding meaning and service to others. The audience listened intently as Eliza shared her experiences. In the face of loss, these children teach us resilience. By nurturing their ability to find joy and purpose in small acts of creativity and play, they remind us that meaning is not just found, but also created. Viktor nodded in agreement. Indeed, it is through action, love, and suffering that we carve our path to meaning. Dr. Richter's journey is a testament to the enduring impact of logotherapy in guiding individuals towards a life of fulfillment, post-adversity. The applause that followed was not only for Viktor's insights, but also for the living example of Eliza's work, a beacon of hope demonstrating the enduring human capacity to find meaning, even after liberation. The narrative had moved beyond principles to showcase the real-world application of logotherapy in healing and rebuilding lives.